Mula, I'm DJ Toro. Join me every Monday to Thursday, 7 until midnight. The premium classics on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Tonight, Agriculture Ministry decides potato farming isn't viable for Fiji. Suspended FLP making arrangements to pay register of political parties, and major bus fire averted in Lambasa. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spade and you're watching FBC News. A juvenile who caused the death of a 6-year-old boy with a gun in Nandi early this year will be rehabilitated. The decision by the Nandi High Court also saw the juvenile's father ordered to pay court costs of $2,500. The boy's parents will also have to pay a bond of $5,000 each to assure the good behavior of their son for the next 7 years. We now join Christopher Chan for more on this story live from Nandi.
The juvenile, who was 10 years old at that time, was playing with other children when he picked up a gun. The court heard the gun was fired, injuring the deceased and another boy. The gun was used earlier for pigeon shooting by its owner and others and left in a vehicle. Justice Janaka Bandara said the parents and other adults who gathered at the compound where the tragic incident occurred had failed to exercise due care and attention towards their children, including the juvenile offender. Justice Bandara said that was a grave negligence which created this chaotic and catastrophic environment at the cost of a life. He said it was the responsibility of the parents to ensure their son does not repeat the same or similar acts and another victim is not derived of such action. He's been given name suppression and the court decided against detention, saying it would only injure his well-being. Back to you, Jackie.
Thanks for that, Christopher. Potato farming has proven unsuccessful in Fiji. Farms were set up in Andarivatu, Navosa, Ra and a number of other sites in the hopes that we wouldn't need to import potatoes in the near future. However, as Epeli Tukuasa finds out, it's not viable for Fiji.
It started in 2011 and attracted many farmers in the West. But 3 years down the line, the Agriculture Ministry says it's not working.
Some analysis was done and looking at the low production and the high incidence of disease. So we had thought to put a stop to it.
Fiji spends more than $10 million importing potatoes to Fiji. Wembuta says, although farmers have shown the ability to grow potatoes, there are just too many obstacles.
We are spraying potato twice in a week. This adds to the cost of production for this particular crop. So it is just not viable. And the continuous rain that we have adds to the high infestation of bacterial wilt.
For people who have been growing potatoes, this year is the last harvest.
We are just trying to finish off meeting the quota that was sent from New Zealand this year. After this harvest, we won't be moving into potato production again next year.
Wembuta says the Agriculture Ministry will continue to research into making potato farming viable for Fijians. Epeli Tukuasa, FBC News.
A representative of the suspended Fiji Labour Party has confirmed that arrangements are being made to pay the Register of Political Parties fees for the publication of its financial records in the Fiji Sun. The party has been temporarily suspended for failing to comply with the key financial requirement of the political party's registration decree. Chanel Sivan has more.
The now suspended Fiji Labour Party was required to pay about $6,300 to the registrar's office by July 15th. Speaking to FBC News from Lambasa, party official Surendra Lal says they are now moving on the issue.
Well, they are doing some arrangements. But we will sure we'll get to it when things are. We were waiting for the party leader to come back from Auckland. We don't have any further comments from them.
The FLP earlier wrote to the Commerce Commission asking for a deliberation on what it says are the high costs of the publication fees.
We have been doing some minor preparations earlier, but we will suspend our operation till such time that we are given a go-ahead and we can do things further. There is no matter of panic. It's some inquiries we wrote to the what you call this Commerce Commission over the levy for the dead person. But I think that's what the issue was. But people, there's no worry for people to panic over the issue.
During the temporary suspension, the FLP can't operate, function or hold itself as a political party. The FLP has 60 days to pay the dues or face deregistration. Shanal Shivan, FBC News.
Measures to eliminate all types of violence are showing little success. This has led the Fiji Police Force to call a meeting of NGOs and government ministries in Suva today. As Ritika Pratap reports, an all-inclusive approach needs to be taken.
Disjointed information on sexual crime is impeding efforts to protect the vulnerable. NGOs have their own data and research. The government records show something else, while the police force relies on its own reports.
With the multi-sectorial approach, I hope that we will all come together with the programs or activities that address specifically the prevention of interpersonal crimes, which will in turn effectively contribute to the reduction of the commission of crime.
This consensus meeting is in line with the Fiji Police Force Duavata community policing model. Police records show that there were 2,980 cases of sexual offences last year. 630 of these victims were students.
We need to form a network, just like the concept of a jigsaw puzzle. We need to connect, and we need to demarcate our roles and responsibilities, which will alleviate potential gaps and provide an effective service provider for our violence prevention program.
Citing the increase in offences, the force believes preventative measures can be more successful.
Based on the statistics, we have yet to establish a network that really is viable and effective for the need of our nation.
Most sexual violence victims are under the age of 16. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
The Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption has confirmed it's investigating former BAS Special Administrator Arun Prasad. FICAC says they will not be able to comment further on the case. On Monday, Acting Minister for Local Government Aisaid Qayyum announced Prasad's termination based on evidence that he abused his powers to get waivers and discounts on town rates for properties he and his family owned. Prasad has denied these allegations. Coming up, Fijian security guards show how it's done at the Gold Ridge mine in the Solomons.
How would you like to spend your morning? You could spend your morning like this. Or you could spend it like this.
Tune in to The Morning Ride every weekday morning from 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. right here on Today FM, Today's Hit Music.
Nimbula, methango nimilote na isoro tambua. Nama kia umina rua kina ona na veka vi moniti kina vaka rambuka. Rongo mena via sama kina viva ka barota kini ndreko malolo. Ena Radio Fiji 1 na wongani pia niano. Ngai nama kia kina.
Welcome back. You're watching FBC News. A bus fire at the Lambasa market today is under investigation. National Fire Authority Chief Executive John O'Connor says the fire started in the engine compartment of the bus. Quick action by the driver and passengers prevented the fire from spreading throughout the bus. The NFA is working with the Land Transport Authority to determine the cause of the fire. Owners of Dilip Chand buses could not be reached for a comment. Fijians are known for their bulla spirit, hard work and dedication all over the world. This is reflected in the Solomon Islands, where the welfare and security of staff of St. Barbara Gold Ridge mine lies in the hands of Fijians guarding the mine. Akosita Tale has more on the story.
Moving to Honiara in 2008 was going to be a challenge, but for Security Superintendent Esala Naitini, all has changed. Apart from guarding the mine, the 25 Fijians working here have also taken it upon themselves to unite employers and employees.
Kita may sangakin metarida kena vi kalalengo me bukan non rata-rata me vi taunduni kena kai vina katana kampanye me Brisbane Bureau.
St. Barbara Gold Ridge Mine doesn't have that many skilled workers, so Fijians are relied on for community policing and educating locals on the dangers of illegal mining.
Trying to educate them and giving them awareness on what is supposed to be done and not supposed to be done within the mine lease area of the company.
This company introduced canine guard dogs into the Solomons, hoping that locals will take on the skills.
In the future, when the company decides to extend, we have local guys that can take over and look after the canine unit.
The Fijian presence has been a morale boost for people in the Solomons. Their skills and professionalism has rubbed off on locals. Former policeman Beniamino Maravu spent 6 weeks in the field, followed by a 3-week visit to Fiji. This way he can balance work and family. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
The National Substance Abuse Advisory Council will be holding public discussions on the draft volatile substance abuse decree this month. NSAAC Director Misael Ndrumbalavu says the rapid increase in glue sniffing and similar cases has prompted them to fast-track work on the new decree. Paint thinner, correction fluids, petrol, PVC or any kind of glue, nail polish remover, cigarette lighter refills, hairsprays, deodorants, air fresheners, pain relief sprays, anesthetic gas and benzene have all been declared volatile substances in the draft. A person who sells or supplies these to a child can face 2 years imprisonment, a $5,000 fine or both. In 2006, there were 6 cases of glue sniffing. A year later, it increased to 30, and in 2011, there were 212 such cases in schools. And Jamie is here with the full round of sports for the day. What do you have for us?
Well, coming up, we take a look at the World Hobie Cat Meet that started in Suva today, and judokas off to Japan in preparation for World Meet. These stories and more coming up after the break.
Isambolo binaka, pedang go wadi soni dalai, nama kyo mani wasini ngono borota kina lali ne kabi, mai na tolu kina bitu, ena moni dingina por rombuka, ena Mbula FM, na bandu ena serre.
सूरज की पहली किरण के साथ दिन की शुरुआत कीजिए। सुबह का मंगल प्रभात आपको शुभ हो। सुबह सुबह हो खुशियों का मेला, ना लोगों की परवाह ना दुनिया का झमेला, पंछियों का संगीत हो और मौसम अलबेला, मुबारक हो आपको ये खूबसूरत सवेरा। हर सोमवार से लेकर शुक्रवार तक सुबह 6 से लेकर 9 बजे तक शामिल रहें रेडियो फिजी 2 पर हम सफर में रविंद्र सिंह के साथ।
Welcome back to FBC Sports. The International Rugby Board will be visiting Fiji next week as part of their yearly review of programs implemented by them. One of the issues that is likely to be discussed next week is the High Performance Unit, which is funded by the IRB, and the early departure of Mike Ryan, the HPU manager.
I haven't had anything from IRB yet. I think the team is coming around probably next week or week after next for their normal review. We will talk with them at that stage. That's where we are.
Meanwhile, Ryan, who has another 3 weeks in Fiji, will continue to implement the HPU programs while he remains in the country. He also has a word of advice for Rugby House if they intend to contract expatriates in the future.
I guess it's get the right people and trust the right people to be able to do what they want to do.
The Nandi rugby side is working hard to maintain its pole position on the Digicel Cup points table. Under the guidance of a no-nonsense coach, the Jet Setters face off with Suva this weekend. Indra Singh has more.
The cry of "Oh Nandi Ko" will surely be prevalent in the capital city this weekend. The top-placed team will be out to continue its winning momentum when they clash with second-place Suva.
With Suva, they've been playing well, and again we coming away from home to play them in Suva, so it's huge task for us, and we just got to get ready for it and try and overcome the obstacles.
It has been some time since Nandi won a major rugby title, but this season the team has been showing a lot of promise. However, the coach is not getting too carried away with the successes achieved so far.
Which is a good build-up for us. And at this stage where we are at the moment, it will, take it with a lot of hard work that's been done by the coaching staff and the players. And we just got to keep stepping up every week.
There was a time when Nandi was amongst the untouchables on the local scene. How they would like that to reoccur and re-happen in 2013.
We've got two games to go. I guess we just got to be playing the right end of the puck. And again, we have to look at our confidence as a team. If we keep doing well, then confidence rises up. If we keep, letting down 1 or 2 games, but hopefully we will reflect on how we perform on the field. If our execution on the field is correct and we do the right things on the field, and we're happy about it, and that's a progress.
After this weekend, Nandi, like its football cousins, would like to stamp its mark on the local scene. It'll be interesting to see if the Nandi cry is louder than the hosts. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
The pools for the second major football tournament of the year, the Ink Mobile Battle of the Giants, were drawn today. And it's shaping up to be exciting with the top 3 teams grouped together. Indra Singh was at the pool draws.
The second major tournament of the year sure does have a tough look about it. The current top 3 teams in the country are all pooled together, which sure will make it a tantalizing affair.
It's a really tough pool. If you look at the league standing also, we are on, all 3 teams are in first, second, third position. And looking at the games we have played against Bath this season, we have already played 5 and we lost all 5 games. And also we played Nandi 3 times this year, we lost to Nandi. But at the end I think it's something for the players to prove themselves. And this will really motivate the players to do something good so they can beat these 2 teams this year.
Already hopes are high from the parent body that the venues in Lambasa and Ba will provide excellent football action. This, coupled with the way teams have been drawn, is already exciting officials.
The pools are very well done up and evenly matched, so it will be an exciting tournament. If the pools are evenly drawn, then we are able to fix the matches accordingly, schedule the matches accordingly, and no doubt it will create the interest there.
There is an added incentive for premier teams who will be invited to be part of the tournament.
I have not yet decided. My board is meeting on Sunday. We will decide the number of teams from North will come in, and then of course our president had earlier announced that Tabua and Sabo should be included. So we will have to assess that and then decide which other 2 teams come in. If Tabua is coming, with Tabua at the moment is in a bit of doldrums, but the board will decide on Sunday.
The groundwork is complete with the pools being drawn. What is left is for teams to prepare accordingly to dethrone defending champions Ba. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, Ink Mobile today also announced an increase in the sponsorship for the BOG. The communications company, which has been the sponsor for the past 5 years, will fork out $55,000 for the 2-week tournament.
We agreed with the FIGFA president that year on year as cost increase, and given that the competition is going to Lambasa, there's going to be some added cost. So with that in mind, after discussion, we decided to increase the pool that's in place. So yeah, it's all about helping FIGFA for the betterment of the sports, and with our investment, we try our best to make sure that the sports, the football at the end of the day is a winner.
2 young judokas will be flying off to Japan to undergo intense training in preparation for the World Championship Cup in USA next month. And both hail from a family synonymous with judo in Fiji. Talin Daudakadaka reports.
15-year-old Suva Grammar School students Tevita and William Takayawa will be carrying Fiji's hopes at the International Judo Federation World Championships in USA next month. And officials have enlisted the help of a renowned judo club in Japan to mentor the youngsters.
We'll be competing with training with one of the best judo clubs in Japan with the same age group. So we'll be spending around 3 weeks there, especially just for the competition which they'll be taking part in Miami.
The World Meet in Miami, USA also serves as a qualifier to the 2014 World Youth Olympics in Nanjing, China.
We'll have more competition at the Worlds than in the Olympics, because the whole world is coming to Miami. So it's one of the biggest competitions for this age group this year.
For Tevita, this will be his second stint in Japan, while Williame will be traveling for the first time to the land where judo was born. The duo anticipates some tough training in Tokyo to serve them well for the upcoming World Meet.
And hopefully Japan will give us a bigger boost with our techniques and hopefully we'll get our techniques in Japan.
The duo fly out with their coach to Tokyo on Friday morning. No doubt, it is the ideal place to learn and train the sport of judo. Talendo Dakadaka, FBC Sports.
The South Pacific Youth Hobie Cat Championship got underway this morning at the Sailing Centre in Suva. While anticipation was high that the favourites from New Caledonia and Fiji would prevail in the first race, it was another Fijian who managed to surprise everyone. Shelvin Chan took to the waters.
It was perfect conditions for Hobie Cat sailing with strong winds and perfect sailing waves. And it was the 18-year-old who surprised the pack after pulling a win in the first race today.
Very happy and proud of the wind. The wind is really strong, so I managed to keep up well, even though some of the boat made mistakes of capsizing, tipping over. I tried my best to hold my boat, and yeah, I was really happy about it.
The youngster, who has been part of a group that has been trained by Graham Southwick, hopes to take this championship as a stepping stone to a better sailing career.
My planning, even though it's my last year in the youth, and I'm trying to get something, and my goal to win this youth competition.
Kaveni Nangata won the championship 2 years ago. This morning, he wasn't so lucky with his craft capsizing at the start. He says he hopes to be back better and stronger.
Think of my tension of my boat, it's really strong, so I will do another depowering, so make my boat a little bit comfortable, so I will see you on the next race.
The championship ends on Friday. Shalvin Chan, FBC Sports.
That was your Wednesday night sports. Good evening.
The Commissioner Eastern's office is working towards getting a new vessel specifically to serve the Eastern Division and the Yasawas. Apisalome Doka has more on the story.
Shipping problems in our maritime zones have compelled the Commissioner Eastern's office to take matters into their own hands.
We have come up with a proposal for the government to purchase a landing craft which can carry cargoes as well as passengers.
Lieutenant Colonel Rika says they are putting together all the details, doing some research before seeking the government's endorsement. He adds they are working through this urgently so a vessel can be in service by next year.
Generally, we need, it's a priority for the Eastern Division, we need a landing craft.
Most government vessels sailing at the moment were bought second-hand. The Commissioner Eastern's office is planning to buy a brand new ship.
I would rather see a new vessel constructed for this purpose, because this will assist us. If it's a new vessel, then it will run for 10 years, in the condition before, it faces difficulties.
Lieutenant Colonel Rika says there are many islands to cater for, and a lot of planning will go into running the shipping service.
Once a trip is taken, all the government stakeholders and all the private sector can be part of that trip. So when we go to islands, it's something like a trade show.
Yasea Samoa in the Lau Group is also looking to buy a vessel for its district, while the government shipping services is also buying a landing craft next year. Apisolo Medoka, FBC News.
Time for the weather girl now. Anything new, Jen?
No change, Jackie. Rain every now and again in Suva and Savo-Savo. Sunshine here in the west and in Lambasa. They have the same weather conditions and now the same temperature. 27 degrees for Nandi and Lambasa, 26 for Suva and Savo-Savo. It appears the entire country is feeling the cold more than ever now, with the highest being 28 degrees in Lautoka. Let's see what tomorrow has in store for us. And it looks like today's forecast is tomorrow's forecast. Southeast winds will be at 25 to 30 knots with rough to very rough seas. Ever heard of Dorothy's Waterfalls? Well, in case you haven't, you can find it on the King's Highway near Dakwivuna, Wainimbuka. Thanks Reggie Jeet for showing us that sunsets and beautiful beaches aren't the only attractions in Fiji. That's weather. Until the next photo, stay safe and stay smiling.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. The headlines once again. The Lautoka High Court has ordered that a juvenile who caused the death of his 6-year-old cousin with a gun in Nandi early this year be rehabilitated. The Agriculture Ministry has decided to end potato farming, saying the crop is not viable for Fijians. And an official of the suspended Fiji Labour Party says they're making arrangements to pay the Register of Political Parties. Time for the opinion poll question, and we ask, is Fiji emerging as a Melanesian spearhead group leader? Visit our FBC website to answer. Remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos. Email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. That's news tonight. See you tomorrow evening.
आपकी शादी होने वाली है। 5 बच्चे होंगे। 5 हाय, मैं हूँ आपकी सहेली रेनू। सुनते रहिए मिर्च एफएम। मैं हूँ ना 9 से 12 बजे तक।